Hi, and thanks for joining me on this video about ways to find meaning in life and my new course, 5 Days to More Meaning. Clearly, with the upsurge in statistics regarding people suffering with anxiety and depression, we're just not there yet in terms of training ourselves to view the world in a particular way that is a more mentally healthy way, a more spiritually healthy way. Yes, we can certainly treat the symptoms, and we absolutely can do that, but we need to be looking at the sources of this anxiety and these statistics on depression as well. Now, some years ago, there was a really interesting study done by some American researchers. They took two groups of kittens and they divided them into an environment for a number of weeks where they were raised with only horizontal stripes and lines, or the other group with only vertical lines. So, for example, it was kind of like an enclosure with, and on that enclosure, and the inside enclosure walls was either only horizontal stripes or only vertical stripes. Likewise, when the kind of lid was lifted and the people that were feeding them, they were clothed in basically all black, even their faces blackened out, with either just horizontal stripes on them, on their clothing, or vertical ones. And they were raised in this for some time. But when they were taken out of these two environments, the results were really striking, because during that time of their youth, there's a critical window for their visual cortex development, where the brain learns to recognize and see different things in the world, and in this case, vertical and horizontal lines. So for these kittens, the group that were taken, that were raised with only being able to see horizontal lines, when they came out of their cages, they weren't able to see, for example, the legs of chairs. They could perfectly sit up on the chair and lie in the chair and go to sleep on the chair like any normal cat. But they'd bump into the legs of the chair because they weren't able to see the legs of the chair. They were not able to recognize, their brain wasn't able to recognize vertical lines. The other way around, for the other group that were raised with the vertical lines, they were able to see the legs perfectly. They could wind in and out of the legs of the chair, but they couldn't see the chair to actually, the seat of the chair to actually sit on. So meaning is very much like this. It's becoming aware that we don't see everything. We're trained, our society, our upbringing, everything trains us to see in particular ways. So we need to kind of ask ourselves, what am I blind to? What is my family, perhaps my values, my family values has blinded me to, my upbringing has blinded me to, or society blinds us to. Because meaning requires a kind of a bigger picture lens, more of a kind of a contextual lens, a macro view of the world. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't find meaning in the mundane aspects of our lives. We absolutely can, and we need to. That's really, really important, and I talk a lot about finding meaning in the mundane. But meaning is a way of hooking us from what we're doing in this moment, or what seems like very boring lives, into the bigger picture and how it matters in a bigger picture. So that's kind of really important, and those lenses on the world are really, really important. But it's something that can't be left to chance. We're so good at we're better looking after mental health. We're much better at looking after our physical health and fitness and that kind of thing. But this kind of existential health, which is really what it's about, or spiritual health, some might like that language or maybe not, it cannot be left to chance. It needs the same conscious attention, even just a little bit of our days, to just kind of say, where am I going? And is this direction that I want to go in my life? Really, really important stuff. The kind of stuff that maybe only kind of comes up and into our minds when we're standing at somebody else's funeral, and we're kind of going, golly, where am I headed? Or what are they going to say about me? Or I liked that value. Actually, I want to kind of get a little bit more of that. I like what I heard about that person in the eulogy. So that's the kind of view that we need of our lives, to find meaning in our lives, and to see that what we do every day is actually having an impact, but is it having the impact that we want it to have in the world? So really, really important stuff. Finding meaning is enormously important, not only to anxiety and to depression, but also to better sleep, delaying the onset of dementia, immunity levels, even longevity, how long we live, wound healing times, that it actually can speed up how quickly our wounds heal, how quickly we get out of hospital. Many different benefits. Obviously, self-knowledge, self-acceptance, autonomy, leadership, creativity, all sorts of different benefits that have been correlated or associated with finding meaning in life. So really important stuff, and really important stuff, as I'll be talking about later in another video, to teach our kids about as well. So thank you for joining me in this video. I hope it was of some use. Do kind of post me questions. Feel free to email me and ask me some questions or any particular things that you'd like to hear about. But thank you for listening to the video, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care.